Welcome back to PH.d TV, and today we'll be going over Diesel's Spirit of the Brave. And before we go too far into this, I do want to go ahead and let you know that this video is sponsored by Diesel. I do want to go ahead and say thank you to them. Thank you for sponsoring me, and thank you for sending me this fragrance. So let's get started looking at the box. All right, here we go. It's a very reflective box. As you see, you can catch light and how it looks. Diesel Spirit of the Brave right over the top. It's got that right there on the sides. Really cool. Nothing to see on top or bottom, and just batch codes and things like that on the back. And the bottle we are looking at today is going to be a 2.5 ounce. And now onto the bottle. Now, in my opinion, this is just one badass looking bottle. As you can see, it obviously has the fist look to it with the Diesel brass knuckle and a tattooed hand of a tiger or a lion. It looks like a tiger. It doesn't show the mane, so I'm gonna assume it's a tiger. Could be a lion, but you know, don't judge one either way. All it shows is that. So cap's on there pretty good, but it's not like it's a heavy bottle to begin with. I wouldn't pick it up by the cap, but it's just a very nice bottle. I don't know how to put it. It's just very cool. Now, I will tell you, one of the most surprising things about this is the atomizer on this thing. This is an absolute monster, and how it just blows out the fragrance. Just complete monster. And before I go too far, here's a card that Diesel sent me in the mail when they sponsored. Just very cool. Once again, thank you to Diesel. Okay, so just first and foremost, before we get too far into the technical sides of what makes this scent very different in a good way and whatnot, is that I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, this is very much a bad boy type smell. My fiance said it, I thought it first thing, and of course, as you've probably heard in some other reviews, I like to share these and show these to my friend and his wife, just to say, hey, what you all think? Yeah, we all agreed that this is very much a bad boy fragrance. You will not see a geeky type individual wearing this. This is very much going to be the denim, jeans, white V-neck, Henley type, you know, with a leather jacket type person. So if you're that type of person, this is a scent for you, which that also works in its own right, because Diesel is a very hardcore classic denim leather jacket type company to begin with. So this does roll very well with their brand. And now, something very cool I like about this scent and this fragrance, and if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that this is my type of fragrance because it is very aromatic. Now, I will be putting up Fragrantica things up top, such as the Accord, so you can see what I mean. But I'll tell you, I thought this was aromatic before they even sent this, because this is how it works when they sponsor me. They send me this in the mail. They don't ask me what I want. They just send me a sample of which they feel would do very good with the sponsorship. So I never had time to really, you know, look at a Fragrantica review before I opened up the box. So I instantly thought this was aromatic, and from the other room, my fiance walked in and said, what is that smell? It smells delicious. It's very aromatic, and again, if you've seen my past videos, that's my type of fragrance. And you do get this really fresh, woody, and spicy smell, but really, instead of being woodsy, which is good, because with woods, you can sometimes get into a very older man type smell. Typically, not always, but in my opinion, woody is a traditional older man smell. So for someone my age, they really tone down the wood for a spice, even though there is wood, make it very masculine. The spice really elevates it into a more, you know, college to 35, 40-year-old range. And also, it's just very balsamic. It's very sweet and warm. So this is gonna be a very good fall and winter and maybe early spring type fragrance, but definitely it's gonna reign king in the fall. And I'm excited to use this in the fall. Honestly, good thing they sent it to me at this time. It's probably why they sent this one to me around this time, because fall has officially began. And now this is gonna be kind of weird, because especially if you look at the Fragrantica reviews, you're gonna see that this is a lot of between the loves, the likes, and the dislikes, and I'll show you that right here. You're gonna see that this has more likes than it does love, but it also has more dislikes than it does love. And to me, I honestly don't know why, except for one thing, which I'll get to later. But in terms of the scent, I don't know where the hate comes from. I think this is a killer, masculine, honestly really sexy smell. My fiance loves this smell on me. And with some of my scents, which, you know, some of my fragrances that I have, which I buy for me, she's not a fan of, she kind of advocated for me to continue getting this one, honestly. But the smell is fantastic, and if you look at the reviews following the, you know, the Fragrantica seasons, likes, dislikes chart, you'll see that a lot of people will say, don't believe the hate, don't buy this hype. They will say this is killer. And I will honestly say it is absolutely killer. Where I do see the hate coming from, though, is probably its longevity. So the longevity and again, this is coming from someone who drinks up fragrances and his skin just absorbs it, and even the longest lasting fragrances can die pretty quick. So this lasts about 3 hours on me, with the first hour being pretty solid projection, second hour dies down, and then the last hour it's a skin scent, and then you pretty much have to shove your nose into my arm in order to smell it. So the longevity's not that great if you're gonna ask my opinion, but again, this is an opinion from someone who soaks up fragrances pretty easy and has to reapply often. But that's the only place I can really see that there's gonna be hate for this, because the hate definitely not gonna be in the smell. I'm just gonna tell you right now, the hate is not gonna be about the fragrance itself in terms of the scent. The scent, I'm gonna give a solid 10 out of 10. And honestly, I'm gonna say 10 out of 10 happily, because honestly, if my fiance likes it, if my buddy likes it, and he thinks it smells great, as well as his wife saying it smells good and a real bad boy, really good fragrance. So far, between 4 people, this has gotten 4 out of 4 good reviews, and I'm sure that it will go from there in terms of good reviews. You know, rule of thumb, the first 4 people, 5 people you talk to, and their reactions are probably gonna be the average reactions of a lot of people. You know, I could ask my fiance once or twice, do you like this fragrance or that? And she'll say, sure, but that's one person's opinion versus my own, but then there's 3 people versus my own, and we all have a similar opinion. Therefore, I do think it is safe to say that you are going to have a safe assessment with 4 or 5 people giving their honest opinion on a fragrance, since none of those people have the same nose. So scent, 10 out of 10. Longevity, I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10, honestly. Longevity was easily the most disappointing part about this, but honestly, the projection makes up for it, especially in that first hour. This is easily gonna be a good party scent in which you're gonna go in, impress first thing, assuming you're there keeping it in the car with you so you can spritz it on as soon as you get there, assuming that, you know, you spritz it on, it takes half an hour to get there, because then you'll have half an hour of projection by the time you do get there. But the projection is an absolute monster when you first put it on. Again, the longevity is 3 hours, but the projection is a monster. So for projection, it gets a good 7 out of 10. Therefore, the overall score is gonna be 7.3, making this a well above average fragrance. Yeah, that's just a badass fragrance. That's the epitome of what I'm gonna say, and typically I don't like using language in my fragrance videos. I usually reserve those for like my fitness videos, you know, keep it lighthearted and fun. But this is the epitome, to me, in my opinion, what a badass smells like. So yeah, long story short, if you're that bad boy type person, this is definitely gonna be your smell. And I always do this at the very end, would I buy it again? Now granted, I didn't buy this bottle, but once I'm out of it, per request of my fiance, I probably will buy this again. In fact, I'll probably get the 4.5 ounce. And now at a typical price point, you're gonna see this in the $57, $60 range after tax. So for a 2.5 ounce, it's gonna be pretty expensive for the 2.5 ounce. But if you go on fragrancenet.com, which I will put up right here somewhere, you'll be finding this at the $42 mark, which I would say is fantastic for the 2.5 ounce, but I'm pretty sure you can also find this for a little under 60 for the 4.5, which is definitely what I'm probably gonna do after the fact. But yeah, I would definitely buy this again. Long story short, I would buy it again easily. And that's my review on Diesel Spirit of the Brave. If you like this review, please like and subscribe down below, and I'll even put up here somewhere the link to my other reviews, which I'd love for you to check out in the future as well. In fact, if you want to, go ahead and do it right now. And aside from that, I'll see you next time.